I have a very vivid memory of the first time I hit a vape. I'll never forget. It was 2017, which made me like 14 or 15 years old. It was a nice ass Friday after school, and I was like 20 deep with all my teammates and close friends at our local small town Sonic. We had a game coming up that night, and it was tradition that we left school early to grab a bite some hours before the game. And so one of the guys, let's call him DJ, takes out this bubblegum scented vape pipe looking thing. Now, I was an avid don't do drugs ass nigga, but I remember thinking to myself, damn, that shit smell good. And DJ noticed, and he's like, here, bro, you want to try this shit? And for some reason on this day, I did. And after I did, I started coughing up a fit and threw up actually. Yeah, you would have thought I never picked up a vape after that. And I really didn't, not for some years, up until college. So college rolls around and I've had my fair share of hitting very ass mango twist ass vapes. But nothing that ever stuck, like I never went and bought my own. It was just once every blue moon when a friend offered or something like that. You know what I mean? So it was not really a problem. I was never fiending for one. But fast forward to sophomore year of college and I meet this little shorty, you feel me? Little shorty though. Right? And we start kicking it. And when I say kicking it, I mean everything that kicking it entails for a 20-year-old college student who's bored. Right? So it'd become routine for us to play hide and seek under the cover, if you know what I'm talking about, and hit her little, like, I want to say it was a cherry Lost Mary at the time, every time after we were done and chilling. And that became routine for a while. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into a month before she was like, hey, nigga, you chiefing the fuck out of my shit. So this girl bought me one, unexpected, unbeknownst. And that was the first day that I became a vape owner. And from that day forward, fueled my addiction. Boy, I was on one. I had that vape with me at night before I was going to go to sleep. I hit it. When I wake up, I hit it. When I was taking a shit, I hit it. When I went to the gym or right before going to the gym, I hit it. When I got back from the gym, I hit it. You get the fucking point. Also, at the time, I was binge watching a show called Peaky Blinders. I know some people that's listening to this knows what Peaky Blinders is. That nigga Tommy Shelby had me in a chokehold with smoking, bruh. Like I don't know what it was about the show, just got me into a smoke or whatever fixation, smoke fixation. So if I can blame anybody, it's that nigga Tommy Shelby and that bitch. Not really, not really. But I honestly wasn't too far off the deep end by this point, Things started to die down. My vape started to taste like koala bear ass and coconut water. I ended up throwing it away and I didn't miss it. Life was still good. Life was still livable. I wasn't flipping uh 5,000 pound cars over looking for no vape or anything of the sorts. But it wasn't at that point yet. So things go back to regular. I get the chief and her shit again. Once again, she just gets me one this time. She doesn't even say anything. So she just starts when she goes and gets one, she buys me one along with her. And now I'm getting a free vape every time, right? And I think something in me knew that if I feel my own addiction or feel this thing, that I'd open up Pandora's box myself. There was no fucking need because she did. But and that's not on her whatsoever. That's still on me, of course. But I think something in me knew that I couldn't cross that line. And if I did, it would be essentially like no going back. Something in me knew that shit even then. I'd say for about 2 to 3 months, I never knew what it was to be without a vape. Anytime I started to want one, there was already one there available for me. I didn't know what it was like to fiend yet or anything of the sort. I was spoiled. I didn't know what it was like until I did, until I was flipping over 5,000 pound trucks looking for my vape because it was lost and interrogating people and acting like Batman in Gotham beating an old lady ass because she crossed the crosswalk when they said not to. Guys, I swear to God, this is all jokes. I mean, if you've ever fiend, you know what it's like, but it ain't like that. Calm down. Well, I was fast forward because after that, I realized that this shit was an issue. I started to realize, like, yo, I really have a problem with this shit. Like, I can't just put it down. I feel so fucked up when I don't have it. And then I told myself, you know what? After after a year of this shit, after school ends this year, I just will let this shit go. Motherfucker, that was the biggest lie I told to myself, because after that year turned into, spiraled into three, well, four total long years of trying to beat this addiction or kick this shit. I knew that I was going through addiction once I wanted to stop, and I just couldn't bring myself to stop. I knew it was an issue. I was like, damn, this is what addiction feels like. I thought I was way too P to fall victim to some bullshit like getting addicted to some fairy ass candy vape. You feel me? Like, but nah, I wasn't special. No, I know there is no credible science out, not that I know of anyway, saying the effects of vape on the human body. We're not there yet. It hasn't been long enough. We haven't been studying it long enough to know, I would assume. But let me tell you, I felt this shit. I felt a change in my cardiovascular health. I felt the change in my breathing and my sleeping and my grogginess when I woke up. Like, bro, I was just a fucked up individual. It was making me feel so shitty. I don't even know how to explain this shit. It just felt like, if you know what living life is normally, it felt like you was living at like 65% of what it would actually feel like to live. You feel me? And that the headaches, the dehydration, all that, bro, it was just shitty. And I started to really resent it. But at the same time of resenting it, I could never go without in my mind. And that brings me to the next phase of this video. I want to tell a short story about my childhood whenever I was probably around 4 years old or younger. I don't know. Trying to ride a bike, learning to ride the bike for the first time, right? And everybody who's rode a bike, if you remember, we used to have training wheels on the bike, right? Now, I would never ride that fucking bike without the training wheels. I would give my parents hell about putting them on and keeping them on, even when they would try. I just didn't trust myself yet. I didn't believe that I could ride this bike without the training wheels yet, even though I had already been doing it for months at that point. So one day, my dad gets me on the bike and he holds me steady. And I remember him telling me something like, keep my eyes forward. And basically, just to not allow me to see what he was doing, he lifted up the training wheels. But I didn't see that. And he pretends to like give me a push off, like he's helping me get a push off on the bike. And I started riding just normal, like how I would with the training wheels, right? And I come back around, I stop, and he points down. I look down, and the training wheels are up. They're not even touching the ground. I had been driving this bike without the training wheels, and it was a very invigorating moment, a very full circle moment. Like, and from there on, I knew how to ride a bike. Even from that young of an age, it goes to show just how powerful your thoughts are, or our thoughts are. The man who believes he can and the man but who believes he can't are both right. And beyond just belief tricking your brain, when your brain is playing total defense against you, uh you're on an offense. Sometimes you gotta play dirty. Sometimes you gotta trick your brain into thinking something else. And that's exactly what I did to kick this addiction finally. By this point in time, I done tried to kick the vape cold turkey 1,000 times. It's never went my way. So I remembered that they had these things that were called like zero nicotine or no nic vapes, and I have been sleeping on them for a while because I go in and I tell myself I'm gonna get one, but I never fucking got one. And one day I was just like, "Fuck this! I'm so tired of feeling like shit, and I want to be done. This shit does not serve my soul. It don't serve my being whatsoever. Let me vape still, but this time with no nicotine." It was honestly the lesser of two evils, right? But it worked wonders. This was my grown up version of training wheels, you know? So every time and every day in normal life when I would want or feel the need to hit that damn vape, I'd reach and I'd have a vape, but there would be no nicotine in this one. And I kept doing this over and over and over till just like when I was 4 years old. I realized I'm doing it without the training wheels. So yeah, I'm 7 going on 8 months nicotine free now. And let me tell you, fucking normal life is just as addicting, bro. Trust. And I didn't make this video to be preachy as hell or anything like that, or tell you how much you're doing wrong and fucking your body out with these vapes or anything of the sorts. You a grown ass man, probably, and I'm not your daddy, or a grown ass woman, and I'm not your daddy.